So it takes 5,200,000 XP to level up all skills to level 100. There are 12 skills, so it would be 5.2 million divided by 12, which is 433,333.3333. Now, I'm just going to round that up to 434,000 because even though we're rounding up, it still doesn't make it any better. Now, we're going for the giant sequoias with the quality axe. This is not taking into consideration axe damage or the upgraded axes you get from the skill. This is just a set axe over an amount of time. So, the amount of logs you can have in your inventory is 24 times 29. This is only the case if you only have a quality axe in your inventory and you don't have a full inventory of stuff. So that is 696 logs. Now, for the giant sequoia, you get 8 logs per tree. So that is 696 divided by 8, which is 87. The giant sequoia, when you chop it down, you get 262 XP. Multiply that by 87, and you get the amount of XP from just chopping down the trees, not using the sawmill, not doing anything else. 22,794 XP per cycle. Now, the amount of logs you get from the sawmill is a whole different thing. Since you get 8 logs per tree and you can carry 87, that means that it's 696, and when you put a log into the sawmill, you get 30 XP, which is 20,880. If you add those two together, you get 42,674. That is the amount of XP total that you'll get per cycle. Now, if we go back up, this is the amount of XP that you need to get to level 100 for any skill. 434,000. Now, we want to know how many cycles you need to do. So we're going to do 434,000 divided by 43,674. That is 9.94. But we're going to go up to 10 just because an even number is pretty great. So now we have 10 cycles. We're going to use this number for the next area. Alright, in the last part we got 10 cycles. A cycle is basically going out, getting all the trees, running back to the sawmill, and then running to sell it, and then running back and repeating that 10 times. You need to fill your inventory fully, not half, not anything like that. In a perfect world, this would not be true. Now, we need to find the total time to walk between trees, which I found to be 25 seconds. So we need to go to 87 trees to fill our inventory. So 87 times 25 is 2,175. The total time to pick up the logs I found was on an average of 12.25 seconds. And since we need 696 logs, that is 12.25 times 696, which is 8,526 seconds of picking up logs per cycle. The amount of time to go to the sawmill, actually I'm going to set these to variables just to make my life easier, but you don't have to do this. The total time to sawmill is about 20 seconds, I've seen. It doesn't really take that long. But then sawing all of those 696 logs, that's when it gets kind of annoying, because it's basically every single log, it takes 1.25 seconds to cut it and then that kind of thing. The progress bar takes 1.25 seconds. I timed it, don't worry. And since we have 696 logs and it takes 1.25 seconds, that is 870. And then the last part that we have is the amount of time it takes to run after the sawmill and then go and sell, which I found to be about 40 seconds. It's not that bad. So, forgot about boiler. Anyway, The total time it takes per cycle, it would be A plus B plus C plus D plus F, which is 11,631 seconds per cycle. And since we have 10 cycles, that is then 11,631 times 10, which is 116 seconds, which is, there it is, divided by 36,000. This is how many seconds? This is how many seconds are in an hour, 3,600, which is 32,000.31. Or about 32 hours and about 32 hours and 30 minutes to get from ground zero all the way to level 100 of straight grinding. And you can't even do this in a VIP server.